Hey guys, I have chapters 39 and 40 from Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's library. Everyone in the reading room was quietly lost in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Kyle had just finished a pretty cool story called A Scandal in Bohemia about a king who was going to get married to a royal heiress with maybe 6 names. But the king was being blackmailed by an old girlfriend, an opera singer from New Jersey named Irene Adler. Something Sherlock Holmes said to Dr. Watson early in the story really stuck with Kyle. You see, but you do not observe. Kyle figured that was why Mr. Lemoncello wanted them to take a break from chasing clues and read these classic mysteries. Not to find new clues, but to become better puzzle solvers. Had they been seeing things without really observing them? Probably. Reading the story was also kind of fun. Kyle could totally see Holmes' apartment at 221B Baker Street, and the snooty king and the horse-drawn carriages on the foggy London streets, and the disguises Holmes wore, and the smoke bomb Dr. Watson tossed through a window, and everybody on the street screaming, "Fire!" It was like he was watching a 3D IMAX movie in his head. Kyle couldn't wait to start the second story in the book, The Adventure of the Red-Headed League. "How's it going?" whispered Akemi. "This book is pretty cool. This Sir Arthur Conan Doyle guy knows how to keep his readers hooked." "His characters leap off the pages," said Sierra. "Yeah," said Miguel. "I dig the consulting detective." "Huh?" said Kyle. "That's what Holmes calls himself sometimes." "Oh, I've only read one story so far, and..." Suddenly, something seemed odd to Kyle. "Hey, how come Conan Doyle isn't one of the statues up there?" "What do you mean?" said Akemi. "He's a famous author, right? How come they're projecting a statue of modern writers like Pseudonymous Bosch, but not the author who created a classic like Sherlock Holmes?" "Good question, bro," said Miguel. "I need to consult with my brother Curtis." "How come?" "Curtis has read more books than anyone I know. Except maybe Sierra. He scored an 808 on his SAT subject test in literature." Kyle?" said Akemi. "I think the top score for any SAT test is 800. "Yep. Then Curtis took it, but had to raise it." "Well, maybe he can help us figure out what's up with all the statues." "Exactly. Why these 10? Why not 10 other writers?" "Why not the same 10 that Bridget Wage had for her extreme challenge?" added Sierra. Kyle looked around the room. "Mrs. Tobin? Hello, Mrs. Tobin." The hazy holographic image of the 1960s librarian flickered into view. "How may I help you, Kyle?" "I'd like to talk to an expert." "And whom do you wish to speak to?" "Mr. Curtis Keeley." "Your brother?" "An SAT certified expert on the subject of literature and authors and other literary type junk." Suddenly, the hologram vanished, and Dr. Zinchenko's voice came over the ceiling speakers. "That's a rather irregular request, Mr. Keeley." "Hey," said Akemi, "this whole game is rather irregular, don't you think?" "We just need some more data," said Kyle, "because like Sherlock says to Dr. Watson, it's a capital mistake to theorize before one has data." "I take it that you're enjoying your book," said the librarian. Kyle gave the closest security camera a big thumbs up. "Booyah! Can't wait to see what's up with that League of Red-Headed Gentlemen." "Ah, yes," said Dr. Zinchenko. "A fascinating story. I recently reread it myself." "Very well, Kyle. We will contact your brother to determine if he does indeed qualify as a literary expert. It may take a while." "No rush," said Kyle. "I got a good book." Kyle was busy helping Holmes figure out that the Red-Headed League was just a clever ploy pulled by some robbers to get a red-haired pawnbroker to leave his shop long enough for them to dig a tunnel from his basement to the bank next door, when the librarian's voice jolted him out of London and brought him home to Ohio. My apologies for the interruption. Akimi, Miguel, and Sierra closed their books too. It was 11:15. Everybody had sleepy, dreamy looks in their eyes because they had been kind of drifting off in their comfy reading chairs. "What's up?" said Kyle. "We have arranged for your expert consultation with Mr. Curtis Keeley." "Awesome! How do we do it?" "You and your expert may have a 5-minute video chat on my computer terminal, which is located behind the main desk." Kyle hurried over to the round desk in the center of the room. His 3 teammates hurried right behind him. "Your consultation begins now." And there was Curtis, sitting at his computer in his bedroom. "Hey, Curtis." "Hey, Kyle, how's it going in there?" "Great." Kyle's oldest brother, Mike, popped into the doorway behind Curtis. "Kyle, Kyle," Mike shouted. "Woohoo!" Kyle had never had his own cheerleader before. "We need you to give us 110% in there, little brother." Mike squinted at the screen over Curtis's shoulder. "Who's those other guys?" "It's my teammates, Miguel, Sierra, and you know Akimi." "You guys are a team? Smart move. Even I can't win football games without help from 10 other guys." Mike," said Kyle, "Curtis and I only have 5 minutes to chat." "Cool. I'm out of here. Win, baby, win." Mike backpedaled out of the bedroom, making double fist pumps the whole way. "You have 4 minutes remaining," advised Dr. Zinchenko. "Okay, Curtis, here's my question. What do these authors have in common?" Kyle rattled off the list of the statues in order, and Curtis stared blankly into his computer can for a really long time, and then he shook his head. "Sorry, Kyle, I have no earthly idea." "Really?" Kyle was astonished. "You got nothing?" "Well," said Curtis, "the only connection I can see is Thomas Wolfe wrote Look Homeward, Angel, and Lewis Carroll wrote Through the Looking Glass. Both titles have the word look in them, but the 2 books are otherwise completely different. The 2 authors as well." Kyle and his whole team stood in stunned silence until Sierra started jumping up and down. "Of course!" she shouted. "Your time is up," announced Dr. Zinchenko. Okay," Kyle said to the computer screen. "Thanks, Curtis. That was, really helpful." "It was," said Sierra, daintily clapping her hands together like a very polite seal. The computer screen faded to black. "What's up?" asked Miguel. "I think I know how to crack the statue code." "There's a code?" said Akimi. "Who knew?" "It'll take time," said Sierra, "and I need a computer." "Okay," said Kyle, who was sort of shocked to see Sierra so completely jazzed. "We'll be in our meeting room, putting together a new list of Dewey Decimal numbers from the Bibliomania cards, so we're ready to hit the ground running when the doors reopen at 10 tomorrow morning." While Sierra settled in at a desktop computer pad, the rest of the team returned to the Bibliomania board game. "We should just start flipping over cards and putting together a list of call numbers," Kyle suggested. "Sounds like a plan," said Akimi. She plucked a purple card out of the pile. Lose a turn was all that was printed on the other side. "Try a different color," urged Miguel. Akimi flipped up a blue card. "Take an extra turn" was printed on it. So Akimi flipped over all the blue cards, while Miguel flipped over all the purples. The purple cards all said, "Lose a turn." The blue ones all said, "Take an extra turn." Kyle had been checking all the red and maroon piles. "The reds all say, 'Pick a yellow card,'" he reported. "The maroons say, 'Grab a green.'" "The grays do the same thing," said Miguel, "only they say, 'Pick a pink.' The tan cards say, 'Go grab an orange.' So that leaves the colors we've already played." Kyle flipped over a yellow card. "In the square root of 48,629.20271,209. "What the?" said Akimi. "Hang on," said Miguel. "There's a calculator app in the desktop computer." Kyle read the rest of the card. Find half of 440, 30. Well, that's 22015 again, said Sierra. And the square root of 48,000 whatever is 220.5203, said Miguel. The King James Bible that we've already found. Akimi flipped through the rest of the yellow cards. Same with these. They all send us to the religion section to find that Bible verse. Ditto with the greens, reported Miguel. All clues leading to birdsongs, warbles, and whistles. All the pinks lead back to 027.4, said Kyle. I guess they really wanted to make sure we found Get to Know Your Local Library. Which leaves the wild cards, said Akimi. She examined the orange deck. Find a rhyme for cart and paperbacks, smart and zodiacs, tart and potato sacks. The art and artifacts room, said Miguel with a sigh. Where, Akimi continued, we need to find a rhyme for Randy, Sandy, or Brandy. The Willy Wonka candy, said Miguel. So, Kyle said, I'm guessing that the Bibliomania game was only supposed to help us find the 4 clues we've already found. But we need to know more numbers, said Miguel, because a library should be a no place for no bodies. When Miguel made his pun, Kyle and Akimi both groaned. But then Kyle thought of something. This is why Mr. Lemoncello called our time out a bonus. He knew we would need a ton of time to find a new source of numbers. Just then, Sierra burst into the meeting room. You guys, I found a whole bunch of new numbers. What? Said Kyle, Akimi, and Miguel. Where? Up on the ceiling.